good morning. Let me remind you that trading is risky, not appropriate for everyone. Your past performance, good or bad, is not necessarily indicative of future results, but please stay small, stay humble, focus on the long term, and never, ever, ever risk money you cannot afford to lose. Hello, my name is Wayne. Nice to meet you. I'm a currency trader just like you. Cool. So let's meet every single day, and I'll share my 15 or so years of experience with you. We'll cover technical and fundamental analysis with an overriding goal of helping you put together trade plans. Yes, actually planning your trades in advance. Very cool, right? So here's how you participate. You get involved by asking questions, treating your fellow currency traders in the chat room with respect and dignity. Also, this is my office, so you should conduct yourself professionally. And also, please like and subscribe and leave comments and all that kind of stuff. And I'd also like you to visit tradersway.com, open up a demo account, download MT4, test out the execution speed, check out the spreads, check out the swaps, and then please consider using Traders Way for your broker to your successful Forex trading business. And then, of course, thank you for being here every single day. Okay, let's just get in on it. Happy New Year to you. I hope you had a lovely 2019. I hope this year will be better than the last. All right, so I want to start with oil, I guess. Oil's a great sort of, how you say, thermometer, canary in the coal mine, something like that. How's supply, how's demand, all that kind of stuff. So let's just take a look. Let me get my drawing tool. Right now I'm on a day trading setup. And you can see it's been the last couple of days been more bearish than bullish. Very interesting. All right, if I can get my drawing tool to pop up, it will take a few. Oh, there it is, finally. This shibi. Let me get the chat set up a little differently. There we go. Okay, so we had an up, 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 down, down, up, 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 down, down, some consolidation. And now maybe, just maybe, we don't really know, but if you're looking at it from this point of view, you are a bear. So you're looking at today's sell zone and tomorrow's sell zone. Okay. TBM short at 62. Whew, whew, whew. I don't even see why, not on this setup anyways, I don't see why 62. Not on this time frame anyways. Yeah, on your typical setup, I don't see it. Let's just try to see what you're up to. Let's look at a confluence. Yeah, I see that now. All right, cool. It's not exactly where I'd be more like 61 and 70 or 61 70. You know, 62 is a bit high, but hey, man, you played it. Good job. Last week's sell zone. Well, let's be careful with that. It's not last week's sell zone. It's last week's take profit zone. That doesn't make it a sell zone. So let's be careful with the language now. Coffee's not bad this morning. Okay. All right, TBM. Red zones are not sell zones. They're take profit zones. Okay, so technically that's a counter trend trade and it's dangerous. It's got more risk associated with it. So even though you made money on it, I'm happy for you. But let's analyze the risk first of all. So you're short up in here. I don't know how many days ago, but on this 4-hour chart, this is technically bullish. Okay. And even though the 55 is in control, what you're supposed to be waiting for when the 55 is in control is a double top before it becomes bearish. So everything on here says bullish until you get sort of this scenario, and then it becomes bearish. Okay? So typically, I mean, this is mature late in the cycle, but typically in the cycle, you're buying dips, right? You're buying dips. You're buying dips. These are all buy zones, okay? Here's this week's buy zone. So selling high is always riskier than buying low, okay? So in this scenario, what I would expect is something like this, and that would give me the game on, okay? Now you might have been looking at this in here for reversal patterns, which is fine, but on the higher time frame, you need a sort of a double top of a double top. So you're pretty early in the cycle. Be careful. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying it's a bad trade. I'm saying it's an aggressive trade. And this is definitely not a sell zone. Okay? This is definitely not a sell zone. This is definitely not a sell zone. We have to be clear on that too. Okay? They're take profit zones, not sell zones. Okay? Cool. Neato. For shizzle. I wonder if we can, let me change this. Maybe I can make this a same point in a different fashion. Let's do this, let's say bearish, but I don't want day trading. So let's go to my biased pivots and change this to weekly, for example. So now they're weekly swings. Okay. And you see, price is above the sell zone, so it's not bearish. Okay. And then if I were to maybe flip this around from biased pivots from being bearish to being bullish, this might also make a point. I'm not entirely sure. Yeah, you can see lots of bulls are going to be very excited about these buying opportunities. So you don't want to be selling into these beautiful buying opportunities, right? Okay. Okay. So I'm just saying be careful. I'm not saying it's a bad trade. I'm saying it's a risky trade. That's all. All right, cool. So there's crude. Let's take a look at Goldilocks. Okay. And you can see I have this set up as range bound. Okay, like basically like this. And we're moving from the bottom. So we were down here, remember? And we were looking for this, if you recall, from down to here to up. Right? Alchemy is talking about bearish OPEC meeting and March and all that. I'm just sharing, like, using technical analysis, how do you analyze risk? That's all I'm showing. I'm not saying whether you should be a bull or a bear. I'm saying if you're a bear in that scenario, if you're using technical analysis properly to analyze the risk associated with your trade plan, so you could be a bear for the next 6 months, there are going to be times when being bearish has more risk than other times. So in that scenario, I'm like, look, okay, you're selling in a take profit zone, not a sell zone, which is fine. If you're a bear, that's fine. But what I was trying to show is in that scenario, there was a lot of risk associated with that trade plan. You might want to hold the horses, let the market reverse a little bit more, and get the second wave, get the third wave, whatever. Okay. Kuna, let's get through FOMC first, or the NFP first. All right. What do we want to do now? Euro dollar. Daily M5 doesn't exist. When do you declare them a sell zone? What do you mean? Sell zones are sell zones. I don't declare sell zones. They're just sell zones. All right, so let's take a look at this. We've analyzed going in the past where support and resistance might lie. I think we agree that it was support here, then resistance here. Okay, support again in the future. This was resistance, this was resistance, this was resistance. Okay, so now if you're a bull, you're going to look at this as a breakout, aren't you? Okay, and I think as a bear, oh, well, Marina, I don't use daily M5. Okay, I don't use, they're there, but I don't use it for any particular, right? Like an R2, I mean, R3 might be more interesting, but at that point, I'm superseding everything with weekly and monthly pivots, Marina. But like M5 is meaningless to me. It doesn't put me in. It doesn't take me out. It just doesn't exist to me. So anyways, up, 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 down, down. Buy is what the bulls are looking for. But the unfortunate part is a bear is going to really try hard to bring this down. Yeah, oh, my pleasure, Marina. Like, let's see if I could even get, let me change this to the old school dailies. Swing trading daily. Okay, here's our old school. So let me kind of explain it this way. Let's go into like a 30-minute chart. Okay, here's how I look at it. Delete them. This is the projected high. This is the projected low. This is the projected high. This is the projected low. This is the projected high. This is the projected low. Okay, so M5 is outside the projected high or low. So M5's up here. I mean, if it were me, I would delete these. Okay, I didn't write this pivot point indicator. What is my trading account balance? This one has that much. Feel good? Okay, so yeah, if it were me, I'd probably get rid of MO, I'd get rid of M5. Once in a while, S3 or R3 are important, but I don't use them either. So I would probably, in a scenario where we're outside, which technically I call a moo trade, I would supersede everything by switching this over to monthly and weekly. Okay, and I wouldn't declare it an M5. I would declare this, you know, a weekly R1 or something like that. Yeah, yeah. It doesn't. I mean, it'll hit it, but you know, yeah, it'll hit it. But I would say it has more to do with the higher time frames than the lower time frames. But most of the time, it's not supposed to be up there. Like you're not supposed to be above here. You're not, right. You're not supposed to be above these projections. It's very unhealthy to be up there. Okay. So most likely, what was going on here, if I go into my monthly now, where's my monthly? On this setup. No, that's weekly. So let's add 3. Let's see if this works out. So I wouldn't call this, where's my drawing tool? Okay, I wouldn't call this weekly, what is this, R3? Okay, you see this number here? I would call this monthly M3, but it's the same thing. So I'd say, oh, I'm not even looking at weekly R3. Okay, even though technically it is, I'm calling it a monthly. There you go. Thank you, Marina. Kuna says, oh, you entered Aussie yen 1 pip difference. There you go. So Max says, you just said WTI is above monthly sell zone. Yeah, so you wouldn't sell it. Why would you sell something that's bullish? Unless I misspoke. I don't remember what I said. But Euro dollar, we did, right? We did this one? Maybe not. Okay. What are we looking at for this new month? Let me get my drawing tool all set here. Okay. This is monthly M3. Bears are going to look for reversal patterns. And they're going to take it down here to 109. Max says wooden daily. No. Way overbought or no. Or certainly not. Don't think. Okay, let's make a comment on what Max is saying. Max is saying is because it's so unbelievably high, it's overvalued, right? Way overvalued. No. It means everybody on the planet's buying it. So I'm not saying you're saying this, Max, but one amateur mistake is it's so overbought, it has to come down. Okay, I'm not sure if that's what you're thinking, Max, but I'm going to use that as an opportunity to educate because a lot of newer traders think that way. They're like, it's so overbought, it has to come down. No, it's so overbought because everybody on the planet's buying it. So going back into that other example that we did at the very beginning, and I think it was oil, someone shorted high, and I'm like, okay, that's not a sell zone. That's a take profit zone. What's the difference? One, bulls are buying it up and making money. And they've been doing it for days and days and days and days. So for you to come in and say, well, I'm going to sell while the vast majority of the market's making money on the way up, you're counter trend trading, and it's very, very dangerous. And it's not very profitable either. Okay. So I'd rather you say, wow, it's so overbought, and you take a walk. Don't think overbought means it has to come down. No, it'll go up forever and ever and ever and ever and ever until it reverses. Okay. So like you might say you want to be a bear here, and that's cool. There's lots of opportunities to be a bear here if you're fundamentally bearish. Okay. But technically you should probably wait for this. Okay. Cool. Now, if you're bull, you're looking at things like roll reversals, okay, and such. But you see your OOP on a weekly basis, OOP, out of position. So like a bull really shouldn't be buying this, but they could based on this, but it's really out of position. It's very, very, very bullish. That's why a bear should probably wait. Okay. Okay. Just my thought. But yeah, if you're a bull, like let's do it this way. If you're a bull and you're using price action, you're going to look left. Okay. And you're going to look at it that way. But if you're using classic swing trading, you're not a buyer till down here, right? So then you're going to fold in your monthly and, so this blues area is really your classic buy zone and you're way the heck up here. So that's dangerous. But that doesn't mean sell either. Okay? So buying up here is price action, and you certainly can do it. But it's pretty late in the game because look at this. You really should have taken profit here. And of course, swing traders know that sets up a counter trend. But even then, I think being the first one in the counter trend is pretty dangerous. Okay. That reminds me, we have our first swing trading meeting today, our first swing trading meeting of 2020. So I'm looking forward to seeing everybody on the swing trading team at 11 a.m. over on the swing trading website. If you guys want to join us, it now includes the swing trading course. So you saved like $1,000 right there. So just visit swing.fxbootcamp.com. We meet live at 11 a.m. and the recording is usually up there by about 1. All right. What should we do? I guess we got to do pound yen and Kiwi Swissy. So we'll start at the top left. Okay. Two things going on here. Here's your take profit zone where bulls should take profit. And here's the weekly sell zone where bears would sell. Okay. So it just depends on what direction you want to go. If you want to be a bull on this, your best number is probably 64.5 to maybe 65, and that's where we are now. So if you're a bull, you should be setting up your bullish trades. Bears should have sold many hours ago. Kuna, I don't know what your trade plan was, so I don't know where you would get out. Okay, taking a look at pound yen. This one's interesting because it has a little bit to do with a bunch of junk. Okay, bunch of junk. If you were trading this, I think it was a few days ago, late in December, this up move hadn't happened yet. Okay, so let's do this. Let me delete all of this up. Okay, so we had this and this and this. And at that time, this central pivot, because remember what it's doing is it's looking at the high, low, and close. So at the time, the close was here. So therefore, this central pivot was actually about here. But then we had this big spike and then closed up here, which means the central pivot moved up. So that explains that and why I'm short here. Oops. Delete that. Why I'm short here. Okay. That explains that. But then I believe another part of this, just for fun, was here. Let's double check that. Yeah, so it was a 382 Fibonacci retracement as well. Leo says, is 9 a.m. the new time? Yeah, maybe. I haven't quite decided. But the nice thing is, you know, we might be able to pick up the U.S. stock market because it opens at 9:30. So, you know, I don't cover it proper, but it may give us volume and volatility. Huh? So, yeah, maybe. Let's put it that way. Oh, my pleasure, Leo. My pleasure. So you guys see all that, the kind of confluence of things going on here? So like doing oops, let's do this in different colors and black. Come on. There we go. So like one thing going on here is a 382. Another thing was back near the end of December, like on December 30th. This was actually the January central pivot point. And then you can see this is this week's weekly sell, or sorry, next week's weekly sell pivot. So there's a bit going on there. And of course, remember, fundamentally speaking, I wanted this anyways, right? Any additional questions about this? Steven says pound dollar very similar. Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure. I'm. I didn't want to do that last week because technically I don't think the dollar strength had appeared yet, even though I believe it probably will happen. I didn't want to be first mover on that. Okay. Because of a few different things. I don't know. I'm more cautious. But it doesn't mean I won't be doing that one. Oh, for sure. Okay. No questions? Then I'll move to the next one. But how many? So I'm short. What is that? 143.90, and we're at 143. So I'm up about 80 pips profit on that one. Not a big deal. Yeah, read the medium minutes, Stephen. Yeah, I covered that last week. So then I think the other one on here is Kiwi Swissy. Kiwi Swissy, looking at this, is a take profit zone, sell zone, trying to work our way around and downtown. Okay. Let's change this template a little bit. And go into a smaller time frame. And now you can see how this all fits in, right? So last week, take profit zone. This week's sell zone. This month's sell pivot. So the confluence here, if I were me, I would sell it right here. Oh, look, I did. Cool. So that should get us down to 64, 63 and a half maybe. 63.70 is the, let's see if that's the full projection. No, it's not. Yeah, we'll call it 63 and a half. Short at 65 and a half. So a couple hundred pips down, no big deal. My issue isn't the pips; it's more of the calendar. So what I was talking about many weeks ago is this play would last to the third week of January. Okay, with a small possibility of a little flash crash, if you want to call it that. But like, don't be shocked if this. Like, I'm not projecting that'll happen, but what I've seen in years past is I get in here and everything's working out fine, and then it goes boom, and we're down here in like one day. I, and I pick up those 200 pips in like a day or a week instead of like 3 weeks. It just happens in 2.5 days. All of a sudden we're down here. I'm like, So we'll see. Not projecting it, but it certainly has happened before. So anyways, that's cool, right? So there's a little bit of everything: gold and oil, some yen, some dollars, some Swissies. If you want, we can look at all the yen pairs. Okay. So kitty cad. Okay. So you can see here, this is ripe for another one. So what I would like to see here is I'd like to see the down, the up, and the down. So I might not get this until tomorrow. So I can then switch over and go to my bearish day trading setup, go to like a 5-minute chart. Okay, and see I'm above the sell zone, so I got to wait. I want to look at tomorrow's sell zone, which is there. So if I were me, what I'd be looking for is I would treat this as a double top. I'd like the lower low, the lower high, and drop it like it's hot. Okay. That makes sense. Still, it's there. It's all ready to go. Just a little bit better of a setup would be cool. So maybe you can set an alarm. I got an alarm set. Cool. Euro yen. Take a look at here. So oops, delete. This is last week's take profit. And at that point, this was a little higher. So I had sort of had triple confluence. So I sold it there at 122.5. So I even had the midpoint psych level. We're now at 121.5. So I'm up 100 pips. I don't remember how many trades I'm on in this account. So yeah, cool. So what is that? 5, 6, 7. Cool. So I think I'm up. What was that? About 400 pips for the week so far. Anyways, so we'll see if this will continue. Okay. We'll see what's going on there. Obviously, this is a role reversal. Obviously, this is where bulls are going to challenge us. So the next real challenge is going to be around 121. So I should be able to pick up another 50 pips. Ooh, 50.4. Could be worse. Hey, Europeans would kill for 50.4. Oops. Any questions, y'all? So pound yen we did, right? We did pound yen, didn't we? Oh, yeah. The 382, sold it off the pivot. Yeah, okay. All right, so that one's fine. Kiwi yen. Okay. Now you see the difference with Kiwi yen. Why am I not short this one? Oops, didn't want to do that. Let's bring that back. So why am I not short this one? Well, the other pivots, the other pairs seem to have like double and triple tops at key pivot points, right? Is this one the same as that? No, it's not, is it? It's not the same, so I got to be a little more cautious. Okay. Now zooming in a little bit closer, you can see it's a great monthly pivot. So what I might want to do is something like that. Okay. So I would have to ask myself, where would it bounce? Because I want to sell a lower high or a double top. I would probably bounce around there. So let's say down to 72.50, up to 73, and I will sell it up there. So it would look like this to me. Okay. Next. Where am I? Kiwi? No, we just did Kiwi. Yeah, we just did Kiwi. Take a look at Aussie. Let's switch this up. I think this might be a better. Okay. Okay. So again, this close, when I planned this out, we were here. And so this was actually higher up. This was higher up just by the math of the pivot points. So that was part of my trade then. And of course, then it collapsed and then closed lower on me, but it's all right. So I have this here is a weekly sell pivot. And I had a monthly sell pivot about here. So you could see my trade plan would have been something like this, right? And up and then sell. So I'm short about 76.50. We're at 76, so I'm only up 50 pips on this one. It's just a baby. It's just a baby. So I'm hoping for continuation this way. Okay. I think most of my Swiss franc trades got knocked out at break even. I think I had 3 or 4. So like CAD Swissy above the sell zone, not interested. Pound Swissy is tradable tomorrow. I might look at a retracement back to 128. So I would look at it this way. Where's 128? 128 is about here. Okay. So if I were me, I might look for something like this tomorrow. Down, 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 up, up, sell. Okay. Yes, baby G. Like I told you guys 3 weeks ago, 3 months ago. Now, how do you feel like, I have these big plans, right, that are months sometimes in advance. Do I carry out my analysis? Do I do what I say I'm going to do? How do I do as a coach in that scenario? I mean, we're talking about things weeks in advance. It's good, right? The reason I bring that up is I'm trying to teach you to plan. I'm not trying to teach you to be, let's say, great or the best. And I'm not saying I'm great. I'm not saying I'm the best. I'm just saying I'm an ordinary person that does his work, does the analysis, and then I put trade plans around that. And it's really benign, right? Like there's nothing amazing about it. There's nothing exciting about it. I'm just teaching you how to carry out your career. Right? But you have to get yourself out of the 15-minute chart once in a while and put together some plans. Right? So it's not the big rah-rah speech. There's no yellow Lamborghinis and girls in bikinis and, and all that kind of stuff. We just sit down and do our job every day. And we provide a service, really, to the market. We provide liquidity so that big institutional money can move. And, big financial deals can happen, right? Countries buying gold and oil from each other. You need liquidity for these things. So we're doing our service. We're just doing our job. Okay? So we're always worried about tomorrow. We're always not worried. We're always planning tomorrow. We're always planning next week. We're always planning next month. And that's what I'm trying to share with you, how to do that. And not be reactionary and I don't know, I can't even think of the word. But anyways, pretty Pretty straightforward stuff, right? When do the big boys get back to the market? Right now. You'll notice, Hope, or who asked Baby G, you'll notice because this will move. Cool. So I want you to learn how to trade like a business, guys. So as soon as I'm done with Harvard, maybe even sooner, I'd like to do something like that. I'd like to do a program with you, teach you guys to be businesses and raise money and all this kind of stuff. By the way, you might be able to tell I'm actually quite sick right now. So I could have taken the day off, I suppose. So anyways, I apologize for that. Let's see. So I'm not short pound Swissy. I'm not short CAD Swissy. I am short Kiwi Swissy. That's cool. I did this already, didn't I? No, I guess not. So this is on a bullish setup. Let's move this to a bearish setup. And, okay. So on a bearish setup, because remember, I'm trying to pick which trades to take first, which trades to take second. And a lot of the trades were just not that good. But anyways, down, 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 down. So now we're below the sell zone. Up, up, sell. Okay. Down, 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 down. Up, up. Here's a new sell zone. You could do that there. Sell. Down, 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 down. Up, up. This could be another sell zone. Sell. Okay, and right now we're approaching yet another sell zone. So if I get lucky here, then by tomorrow we'll be down closer to 64.5. I'm currently short at 65 or something. No, we're at 65 now. I can't even see that. 65.5. So it's not moving. It's not big money, but nonetheless. At least we can cover it. Like I'm short here, right? You notice what I'm doing though, right? Down, 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 up, up, sell. That's important. I'm not short here. I'm short here. Okay. What else might be helpful here? Okay. You may note that last week we would have been here and the close actually dropped pretty hard. So last week, I think you can tell this pivot would have been closer to here. This is the weekly sell. There's the monthly sell. And of course, I'm using the midpoint psych level as well. So you can see this was down, up to the midpoint psych level, and then down. With this as resistance and this as resistance, right? Right? Weekly resistance. At the time, monthly resistance was here, and then the midpoint psych level. So down, 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 definitely a respect of this resistance, right? Down, 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 up, up, sell. And then you might say, well, Wayne, how did you know you were going to breach this support? I didn't, but I was a bear. There's the big difference. If you don't have a trade plan, you don't know what to do. I do know what to do because I have a trade plan, so I'm willing to take this as respect of the take profit, down to the support, up to the lower high, midpoint psych level, but I also know this is weekly resistance. I want to be short weekly resistance. Also know this is monthly resistance. Well, I want to be short monthly resistance, and I'm short on a midpoint psych level, so what do I have to lose? Hardly anything. And so I'm like, if I'm right, I'm going to make a lot of pips because this is going to go down, 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 down. And if I'm wrong, I'm going to lose a little bit of pips. You see what I mean? So I'm in the business now, like I've done a lot of planning. There's no guesswork here. I mean, we talked about it for weeks and months. There's no guesswork here. So I'm like, I'm in a scenario now where I'll either lose a little or I'll gain lot. Big? How about big? I'll do big to go with the little. Okay? So I'll either gain big or I'll lose a little. Huh. I'll play that game all day long. Okay? Cool. So I don't know if I'm right. Doesn't matter if I'm right. That's where I am. Cool, right? And I think we got to do all C. All C. And you can see we analyzed this last week. And I said, this looks range bound to me. So you do whatever you want to do. But it looks range bound. A lot different than the other charts. Therefore, I'm not on this one because I don't want to be on this one. Okay. And so we did gold and oil, yen pairs, Swissy pairs, and many of the dollar pairs. So why don't we call that a day? Sounds good enough? Thank you for being on my team. Thank you for being a part of the Forex.Today YouTube community. Please let YouTube know this is quality content by leaving comments on the videos. Still don't understand why, let's say 2,000 people watch the video and there's 35 comments. I don't get that. Would you please leave a comment? Cool, right on. And would you also please show some loyalty and respect to Trader's Way by visiting tradersway.com, opening up a demo account, and give them a shot. Let them earn your loyalty and respect. Thank you, everybody. Welcome to 2020. I am thrilled and excited and honored to spend another year with you. Like I said, hopefully it's better than the last. So, peace on earth. May the pips be with you. May your profits be above average. Have a wonderful day. See you soon.